Hello everybody and welcome back. So I cashed out 30 frames and this is what it looks like. And I think it's working really well. When I pause here and look at it, there is so much breakups, and I think once it evolves over time, we're gonna get a lot of cool details, a lot of cool motion. And you can see the big swirls, the big gas turbulence node is working. And I also the ground is doing its thing, and it's injecting velocity, especially in the close-up areas. Now I'm gonna show the final result, or a segment from the final result. So that's, I think it's this one. Yeah, this is the one we worked on, and I'm gonna lower the density to 10, and let's make sure the viewport is showing all of them, all the details. 2048, 24. Okay, yeah, that's the max. I'm gonna do a preview here. Let's do from 70 to 240. I'm gonna pause and let it run, and then we can look at this one. So this is the preview of the final sim, just one cluster, and it's still going up to frame 240. And as you can see, we're getting tons of details, we're getting all these nice swirls. And when you look at this element individually, you think that there is so much turbulence, there's so many things moving, and it doesn't feel natural, it doesn't feel realistic. And that is true. And I also see that same thing. It doesn't feel correct. But we have to think about this in context. So we cannot say, oh, this smoke element is not moving the right way. I made it to move like this on purpose because I wanted to have so much turbulence. I wanted to have all these nice transparent layers overlapping and moving over each other. And with the spaceship rising, with all of this going on, with all the flames and everything, it's gonna work really well. So we have, when you look at something by itself, it may not look realistic, or you think it's not gonna work well with the scene, but you have to try it. You have to see what kind of visual this element tells you and how it's gonna work with everything else. The only difference that I have in this one is I think the shredding is a bit stronger in the beginning, and I noticed now that the velocity of the RBD pieces is actually stronger. So you can see this one here is pushing the smoke down quite a bit, and this one as well. And then once there's any bit of temperature, the shredding is much stronger in those areas, but then it's gone. Then it's just the smoke moving and doing its thing. So this is again one element we have to consider, that we have four more, one for each corner and then the center. And this section here, you will see that it's behaving with the spaceship and all, but it's because this smoke just drifted down the center, and then the collision is picking it up. It's not coming from the spaceship. So this is going to overlap with the other elements, and that's going to create something very cool. Now the only thing I did, which I didn't explain yet, is the sink effect. So you see here the smoke, even though it escapes through certain cracks, it's not hitting the ground. There's something holding down everything, and that's a field, a volume field that I created called sink. And I'm gonna show what that looks like and what it does. So this sink, where is it? So this sink here is this layer. Okay, and the way I've done this is I took the SDF at frame. I took the SDF at frame 70, the RBD sim, and then I converted it into a volume, and then back into geometry, and then I grouped everything outside and transformed it in and out, so to expand this. And then I added those to flatten the ground, and I made another polygon VDB off of it, reshaped it to add the bulge, and then converted this back into a volume. So the last thing I have is this field, and it's gonna hold everything on top of it. So anything that gets in the way of this is gonna get sunk. So density and temperature, anything that reaches this field is going to be deleted, and that's the main field I care about. So here, actually this is the correct one. Sorry, not the SDF. This is the correct one. I needed a smoke, a density field, not an SDF, and it's called sync. And I'm loading that in, and it's syncing the temperature. It's subtracting 100 from it, so make sure it's negative. And then I'm subtracting 100 from density to make sure that everything is gone from there. And this one I'm not so sure that is needed, but using the same field as collision as well to make sure that in case something escapes, it still have SDF or surface to collide with. So it won't just disappear in case it went through, but it will have some collision. It's just to be safe. That's all. So that's the only bit that I didn't explain. And then pretty much I just run it over all the clusters, 4 of them. The 4 remaining ones with the same effects. Now, if you want the spaceship, the center one, to look different, you can copy this setup and then work on that to make it behave the way you want. If you want to have more turbulence in the center, if you want to have it calm, you can control that easily. And then with this, I can show the director, for example, a preview of one segment. You have to make sure that you show it in context, because most people won't be able to judge this by itself, and they will give you wrong comment. If you show it in context, you'll get better feedback. So you put this in the environment with RBD and everything, you do a preview, and then you send that to the client saying, hey, what do you think of this? And then you get approval, you run the remaining sims, and then you start looking at the rendering, which we're going to do in the next videos. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in a bit.